Going on, family? David Yeti. I am checking in with you guys. So I'm in the studio right now and I am frustrated because I can't seem to get my camera to work. I don't know what the frank is going on. Like I've tried to troubleshoot it, I tried to reset it, and it's just not working. But I wanted to make this video. I wanted to come to you anyway, right? And one of the things that was crossing my mind is, hey, you have to set up contingency plans around these things. So being able to grab my phone real quick, make this video, it goes perfectly with what I wanted to talk to you guys about, and that's becoming more valuable, right? So when we talk about value, and you heard in the manosphere the whole high value thing and high value man and all those type of things, but I think what's more apropos is becoming more valuable overall in your life. And value could be subjective, but I'm talking more specifically about value within the marketplace. As you know, there have been a lot of layoffs, and it's been affecting more federal workers than I can remember within my lifetime. I'm 36 years old, so it hasn't been a real long life, but as far as I can remember, I haven't seen this many layoffs in quite some time. And I think it's more troubling because the federal marketplace is one of the ones I liken it to getting into the military, to where you get into the military, you put your years of service in, you become, eligible for VA loans, housing stipend, all different kind of excellent benefits, especially once you stay in 20, 25 years. And being a federal worker was seen like in that same wheelhouse. I remember having a lot of friends who decided to go that route rather than going and working in the private sector. And when you see things going on like this, I want us to start thinking about, okay, if one of the most safest, non-volatile markets, even like healthcare, or what's happening with United Healthcare, if you're thinking about, okay, if this is supposed to be a safe haven and these things are happening, are any of us safe? And I don't want to talk in terms of fear mongering or bringing things up in terms of doom and gloom. No, I'm actually the opposite. I look at silver linings. Anytime there are corrections within marketplace, there are always opportunities to be had. And if you train yourself to start seeing what the opportunities are, then you can differentiate and remove your feelings away from your logical part of your brain and your heart, and you can make the best decision what's best for you. I look at becoming more valuable. It's not just benefiting me monetary wise, career wise, but it's also going to benefit whatever companies that I'm a part of, because the more valuable I become, the more value I can extrapolate and give to that company in exchange for them rewarding me with compensation, with career advances, with learning opportunities and stuff. So that's the very first thing, is let's start looking at this thing as half glass full and not half glass empty. Yes, that's right. But I know obviously that's easier said than done. We all kind of have these times to where, maybe you get a little down. This week we'll talk about imposter syndrome and how it's not just a software engineer thing. It affects more industries and more people than you may know. We're also going to talk about okay, let me take a step back. First off, the more feedback you guys continue to give me, the more value I can bring with these videos. Now, you have been saying different things in the comments, you've been sharing, you've been liking, and we are actually 3 subscribers away from 100. So I want to give you guys a round of applause for that. Keep up the fantastic work. And also, the more feedback you give me, then the more specific I can get with certain topics. I can take this any way you want to take it. We could talk about resumes, interviews, networking. We could talk about how to find different programs. If you want to go back to school, if you want to get certain grants, whatever the case may be pertaining to how do I go and find gainful employment, I can help you out with that, right? Or if you want to go more finance route in terms of budgets, credit, how to get out of debt, all those things, we could talk about that too. Roth 401ks, we could talk about the difference between a Roth and a traditional 401k, Roth IRA, taxes, We can go business-wise. We can talk about starting businesses, LLCs, EINs. So if you're starting to notice, all of the experience that I've been through, I can pull from those things and be able to give you different paths, whatever path you want to take. Because ultimately, you're watching this channel because I've said something, I've done something that has interested you in some way or somehow, right? And for you lending me your time by watching this channel and stuff, I feel like it's my duty. I really believe it's my duty to continue to bring you guys as much value as possible, which is why I'm going to find out what the frank is going on with my camera system. But let's get back to it. So becoming more valuable. Value is such a sticky word. Like, it's one of those things to where if you say one person is more valuable than the other, it doesn't mean the other person don't have value. It's not absolute, right? It just means that obviously if you have a neurosurgeon and a mechanic, the neurosurgeon is not a better person than the mechanic. The marketplace tells the neurosurgeon that your skill is more valuable than the mechanic. But at the same time, the mechanic and the janitor, the marketplace tells the mechanic that his skill is more valuable than the janitor. So I think it's important to not get offended by what the marketplace is saying, but rather learn how to read it. I'm going to give you an example. There is should I say the company? Okay, I won't say the company, but there is a huge tech company who just recently announced that they're going to be investing hundreds of billions of dollars into a new AI R&D department, research and development. And with this department, they're going to have obviously researchers, but there's going to be other positions within that entire division. And I think it's like a 4 or 5 year plan or something. When I hear stuff like that, there's two ways you could take it. You could take it like, okay, well, if they're bringing on new people, maybe there's going to be job cuts here. Or you can look at it like, okay, they're starting a new emphasis and a new initiative around AI, for example. What resources can I use to learn about AI, about generative AI, about, different models or whatever the case may be? Like, how can I position myself to sort of get a piece of the pie? I'll leave you with this. It's kind of like, so this is an example. It's coming to me as I'm talking to you. I hope it goes well, right? Okay, so imagine that you have been at this restaurant, and this restaurant has been around for a very, very long time. You grew up on this restaurant, right? And they serve the best pies ever. Maybe cherry pies, apple pies, I don't know, pumpkin pies, or whatever kind of pie you into, right? And all of a sudden, you notice that because you go once a week, and now you're starting to notice that, well, wait a minute, this week they don't have the pumpkin pie available. Okay, they say that they're, you know how restaurants, have you ever had a restaurant all of a sudden just stop selling something that you absolutely love, like abruptly, kind of like Taco Bell with the apple empanadas, something like, I know you feel my pain, right? Now, you've been at this restaurant and they've been slowly taking away, scaling back their menu. And you're like, man, I don't understand. Why do you guys get rid of the pumpkin pie? Why did you get rid of the cherry pie? This has been your staple. This has been something that you've been doing for a very long time, right? You have a couple different options. As they're beginning to scale back and pull back their menu, there's a new restaurant opening up on the other side of the street. And guess what they specialize in? They specialize in not just pumpkin pies, not just cherry pies. They do apple, right? They got this new weird blueberry pie that they starting off, maybe like a watermelon pie. So I don't know what you're into, but they're starting this over here. Now you're sitting here at your old restaurant, your comfortable place where you've always been, where you know the tables, you know everybody by name, right? You have two choices. Do you sit there and eventually watch this older restaurant who has clearly shown you that, hey, this is probably, like, we're probably not moving forward here. We're not forwardly moving with new recipes. As a matter of fact, we're scaling back. Do you sit there and watch the restaurant crumble, or do you decide, you know what? I can stop over there one day and kind of see what the blueberry pie tastes like. Let me see what this watermelon thing is about. I see that they're investing a lot of money. They got signs over here and stuff. I'm driving through the city. They got billboards up and everything. I hear other restaurants, they're talking about the watermelon pie and stuff. A lot of us are so comfortable at our old restaurant, i.e. our current situation that we've always done before. We're so comfortable there to where we're afraid to go across the street, a couple of steps across the street, and just at least try the very new thing. If you do not evolve as a person, evolve your thinking, evolve your skills, right? And if you do not evolve, you die. Not literally, but figuratively speaking. Change is constant. We don't always like the change. We're not always prepared for the change. But if you see the tide moving, it doesn't mean that you have to completely abandon the old restaurant. You're just being alert. And it's kind of like you don't have to abandon your current, career. But hey, where can I implement AI into what I'm doing right now? If I'm in marketing, are there tools that I can use that can make me more efficient? What about becoming a prompt engineer? What about becoming a person that actually can write the request and the prompts to these AI models? Is that valuable within your team, right? What type of classes and stuff do they have? What kind of certifications? Are there opportunities that I can, look into? And this is just being curious. All you doing, listen, all I'm saying is don't be afraid to taste the new pie. That's all I'm saying. Will the watermelon pie replace the apple pie or the pumpkin pie? Hell no, it won't. But maybe it might just become a bestseller. Who knows? Don't wait to find out.